ladies. I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. All right, guys, let's get right into this one. Today is Tuesday, September the 20th, 2022. On a scale of 1 to 10, I can't even rate it. I'm just so sad. I'm not going to even lie. Let's move forward. So they got Carly on here, and I said, Carly, now you know I like you, Carly, but you're just in the way right now. But she's talking to her mom, and she went to the cemetery to visit her mom, and just saying that she saw Miss Honeywell. Is that what they called? Anyways, she saw Miss Honeywell, and she says, "Gosh, I hope I never told." She said, "I might not have ever said she was better than you, but I implied it." And she said, and now I see her, and I'm like, ugh. This woman is just she's like, so I'm sorry for that, and everything. And she's just reminiscing over being back in Jacksonville and how she's changed her life, transformed, and all of that. Now, while she's there, this man comes up and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And she was like, "I'm visiting my mom." And she said, "Who are you?" And he says he's there to guard the cemetery for the developer. And she said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Yeah, all this gonna be removed. They've already done one part, so this part is next." And she was like, "What? So what's gonna happen to my mom, her grave?" And he says they're gonna be placed somewhere else. And she was like, "Why wasn't I notified?" And they said the person on contact was Jason Morgan. She said, "Well, Jason's no longer with us," or whatever. She said, "But I'll be darned if she said, was it the beautiful Guile, or is it Guile?" Anyways, and he said, "Yes, they got the ball rolling." So she already know Miss Honeycutt. So she roll up on that woman while she is trying to enjoy herself. And she tells her, I'm not going to let you do this. I'm not going to let you move my mom." And that woman said, "Honey, you take yourself on to Aruba." She was nasty, nice to Carly. "You take yourself on to Aruba or whatever. And don't worry about what's going on here." And Carly said, "How this made me not leave." And baby, we go over here to Curtis and Jordan. And he tell her, I said, "I thought we handled this yesterday, but I guess not." But he still believed that she has feelings for him. So he says, will we still be married and everything? And she says, "I mean, yes, I wasn't the one who wanted the divorce. You did, but I wish you to be happy." He said, "So how could you forget the papers?" She said, "Curtis, I had the papers in on my desk. They were there to be mailed." She said, I don't know. She don't know what happened." Even though she does. I don't understand. Just tell this man the truth, because he's giving Jordan hell. I don't like the way Curtis is. It's just the arrogance for me. Like, I just know I'm fine, and so I know you still want me. That's what I hear every time he open his mouth to ask her something. But don't get it twisted, Curtis, because Jordan is a looker too. But anyways, that's how it comes across. Like, you still want me. Yeah, you still want me. That's why you doing this, because you still want me. All right, Curtis, if you don't move on somewhere with all that. And anyway, she just tells him, like, we can sign these papers. Like, you're still gonna be able to get married. We can still sign these papers. Everything, it will work out. I'm like, yes, I don't know why you're making such a big deal about this, Curtis. Could it be that you still want Jordan? And then, okay, so then he says, but we couldn't be married because our marriage was, you lied to me. And she said, "Yeah." And he said, "I have to have a solid foundation." And she said, "You think you got there with Portia?" I said, "Curtis, leave this woman alone." Jordan, stop it. Now, Jordan, you need to stop it. Let this man get his heart broken on his own. Don't you be the cause of that. Whew, child, let's move on. So then we see TJ and Aunt Stella, right? And, he's telling her, they were supposed to have lunch, but he forgot because he'd been caught up in this whole Brendo thing and working. And so he was telling her about Brendo being here. And she said, "Well, I'm glad he's all right, baby. I know that's your close friend and everything." And he said, "Me too." And then, okay, so then we see Kevin and Elizabeth. So Kevin and Elizabeth are talking, right? because he's hypnotized her. And she says, I see the stairwell and all that. And then he says, is there somebody up there? The one, because remember yesterday she said the woman was on the ground unconscious. He says, is there somebody at the top of the stairs? And she says, yes. And he says, who? And then she started thinking about Peter, but she can't say nothing about Peter. So she says, I don't know, or whatever. And Kevin says, are you okay? He brings her out of it. And he said, are you okay? Do you want to go back? And she said, no, I don't want to go back under again. And he says, all right, well, we'll pick this back up Tuesday. I'm not going to hold you long. So then she gets with Finn, and Finn says, how did it go and everything? And she said, I don't, I was I'm an excellent liar. And he said, what do you mean by that? And she said, because I told Kevin that I didn't see everything. And she said, because during the middle of trying to uncover what was happening, I saw Peter. And he said, oh, it's my fault, you can't say anything. And she said, no, don't blame yourself. She said, what I'm thinking is happening is seeing Peter on those stairs or whatever has brought back has triggered that memory in me. And he was like, he said something about the top of the summit or something. And she was like, huh, yeah. Because Portia comes up and she says, Finn, I need to speak to you. I need a consult. And he's like, can it wait? And she's like, no, I need to speak to you now. And so Elizabeth's like, no, it's fine. So then she goes back to Kevin. She says, Finn said something. He was like, the summit and or whatever, being at the top of the mountain. And he says, okay, maybe that's the stairs or whatever. She said, what does that? He was like, what does that have to do? And she says, my dad would say that. So I guess we finally getting to the bottom of this. Do y'all realize that was back in May when Elizabeth had to go away? And we are now in September. Like, it's the 20th. And we are still dealing with this. And we've been dealing with Elizabeth we were dealing with her months before that. It's like, this is the slowest storyline. Like, that's one thing about General Hospital. They gonna plan their storylines to go for years sometimes. Like, my gosh. So anyways, then we see before Finn was with Elizabeth, he was with his dad and Alexis. And when he was with his dad and Alexis, they were talking about, should we publish about the hook and everything? And Finn was like, I don't know. He said, because and they're like, you don't want to scare the public, but they also have a right to know. So then Finn was worried about Elizabeth. So they said, go be with Elizabeth. His dad said that. And he said, okay, we got this here. And Alexis said, who is we? This is my paper. I asked for your advice, but this is my paper. She said, but I'm going to ask for your advice. What do you think? And he said, I don't know. He said, you don't want to make it sensational because, he said, well, you don't want to terrify people. But I think we should just get straight to the point. And she said, well, what if we do an open letter to him like Jack the Ripper? He said, Jack the Ripper wasn't never found. I said, well, that's not a good idea then. And she said, well, but no, he loved the attention and maybe that could help bring the killer out or whatever. I said, I don't know what's going to help, baby, but let's get it. So then we see Sonny and Nina were talking. They was like, they were so happy Brendo's awake. And then Gladys said, yes, my boy is back. My boy is back. And so they're all happy and celebrating and everything. And then we see Sonny goes and he's talking to this. He goes and has a phone call where he tries to call Carly and let her know there's a lot going on here. Anyways, there's a man there that's very similar to Mike, and he's talking to Sonny about life and everything like that. And he asked Sonny, are you a priest? And Sonny said, I'm not a priest. But anyways, he said, you might have known my dad Mike, he raced horses and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, while they were talking, the lights flickered, and when the lights flickered, the man told Sonny, what did you say your cousin's name was? He said Brando. He said, you need to go, you're needed. And so Sonny gets up and starts booking it. So then we see Gladys and Nina are talking, and they said, oh my gosh, I'm so happy about Brando. Let's go and go to talk to Sasha and everything. And they were like, okay, let's go check on her with Brando and all that. So then we see where Sasha had been in the room, and Brando it's like a seizure or something. And so Jordan comes in and they're trying to give him medicine and everything. And they tell Sasha, you got to go. And she's like, Sasha didn't try to fight it. She was just like, okay, but Brando, I'm here and everything. So then we see Sasha starts reminiscing. And I said, man, look at young Brando. Like, he had the curly hair. He had that boyish face. And he grew up into a very handsome young man and everything. But anyway, so Sasha just remembering all the stuff they've been through, baby. I said, man, y'all have been through it. Mm-mm-mm. But anyways, child, and so she said, Brando, I can't lose you now. You got to fight and you got to come back to me and everything. And then as she goes down memory lanes, she sees that the lights flicker and she just knows. You could just look at her body that she knows. And then Portia comes out of the room. And Sasha's just like, no. And Portia said, I'm so sorry. And she said, no, he was awake. He was talking. Like, how could this happen? And then, Sasha's getting upset and Nina and Gladys come and they're like, what's going on? And Portia's like, Miss Corbin, I'm very sorry. We did everything we could. And they were like, what? No. And then Sasha breaks down and drops to the floor. And then Nina goes after her. And Portia is helping out Gladys. Like, it's just, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I shed a few tears because that was a sad moment. That was a real sad moment, and they was acting their part. I was like, oh Lord, I didn't think Brandon was gonna die, but y'all told me he was, but Lord. So then Sonny makes it or whatever, and Nina goes to Sonny and she said, I'm so sorry about it, because they tell him, Brando didn't make it inside. He said, what happened? And Jordan just says, like, there were just unforeseen circumstances and he passed. But Portia's just like, it don't feel right. But anyways, so then she's going back in the room and Sonny's like, can I see him? And she tells him she can, and he can. And so he goes in the room with Brando and he tells Brando, like, you went too soon. So you, Mike, and baby Liam, y'all take care of each other up there. And then he tells him that he said, y'all take care of each other up there. And then he tells him that he's going to take care of Sasha and Gladys, and he's going to take care of everyone else too. I said, well, y'all wanted that old Sonny. This might have brought him back, because he didn't play about Brando. And I love the relationship Sonny had with Brando. Like, I'm just so sad. It took me a minute to even do this review. I went and was doing everything else. And then I finally said, girl, sit down and do this review. I'm just so sad. Like, y'all know I like me some Brando. So then Portia come up. Okay, so it was Curtis, Aunt Stella, TJ, and Jordan, and they come up and they said TJ and Stella come up on Jordan and Curtis. And they said, "What are y'all doing?" They said, "Consulting, catching up." And they said, "Well, which one is?" And they said, "A little bit of both." And then Portia comes up and she tells TJ, "I need to talk to you, TJ. I've been looking for you. I need to talk to you because he and Brando are close friends." And so then TJ all upset, y'all. He was just all upset. And he was grabbing in his phone. He was like, I need to call Molly. Y'all don't play Molly like she'll recurring on here. Be serious, Nikki, because you sad about Brando. But anyways, they just don't play Molly enough for this man. Y'all just don't. But anyway, he's like, I need to tell Molly. And they said, TJ, we got this. We can handle it. And he was like, no, she needs to hear this from me or whatever. And they're just so shocked that Brando died. And so later on, TJ comes back up to them. And he's like, I don't understand. He said, it doesn't make sense. He said, Brando's surgery was a success. We got all of the fragments. The way his cause of death isn't lining up with an infection or anything. It doesn't make sense, because even when even when Portia was working on Brando, she said, this ain't got nothing to do. Like, it's like his body is fighting it. And I said, woo, child. And, they were like, we're losing him. And Portia was like, the heck we are. She tried. She did everything she could to try to save him. And so TJ is like, being in the medical field, he said, it doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. And Jordan said, what do you think happened? He said, I don't know, but it's just not adding up. So then Portia goes to Finn and she tells him I need you to look at this. He said, I'm infectious diseases or whatever. And she says, that's why I need you to look at it. She said, because Brando, I'm thinking something sinister happened, because she said nothing is making sense on how he died. And I said, who the hell got in Brando's room? Because, everybody's been there. Who got in the medicine? Who is doing this? And at first I thought this was connected to Sonny, but watching the preview for tomorrow's episode and they're going to try to attack Anna, I said, oh no, not Anna too. Because y'all know I like me some Anna. Nah, when she be with certain people, she boring. But I love me some Anna. I said, but so, because I thought this was Esme, but why would Esme attack Anna? I don't know who this is now. I really don't know. I don't know who this is. I don't know. Anyways, child. So they're going to look into this because they said, Brando, this is mysterious how he died. So anyways, Sonny, Stasha, and Gladys and Nina are just outside and they're just shocked. And the nurse, she comes out and she tells them, y'all can go in and be with Brando and everything. And Gladys said, I can't right now. I don't think I can. And Sonny said, it's whenever you want to, it's okay. And they said, oh, okay. Sasha said she wants to go, and she asked Sonny, will you come with me? And so he goes in with her, they hold hands and he goes in, and then Gladys and Nina come in and they just see Brando, and they just y'all, it was just a sad episode. This was just a sad episode, y'all. And so then we see that the nurses were talking, right? And as they're talking, they say, oh my gosh, it's so sad about Brando, and 1 minute he's healing and now he's gone or whatever. And so Alexis looks at Gregory and she said, oh, I'm writing an article. He said, you dang right we are. And I'm gonna help you, because we're gonna find out who's doing this, because nobody else is gonna have a funeral. No other family. And y'all, that was General Hospital today. I know this isn't an upbeat review, but I'm just really sad. Like, I love me some Brando, and I'm very sad that he left. And now, just to think what's gonna happen to Sasha, because that was her protector. Oh Lord, child. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow for a new episode of What Happened on the Soaps General Hospital Edition. Thank you for watching.